Hey folks, AJaytheCEO here, and in this video I want to share with you my mindset and what I do to determine how much I would charge for whatever service that I do. So let's go. Hey folks, AJaytheCEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a patron or YouTube member by clicking one of the links down below. So obviously, we talk a lot about media ministries and modernizing them and all that other good stuff and skills and tips and strategies and everything here on this channel. And I don't hide the fact that this has allowed me to start a business that focuses on doing these type of things for other ministries. Now, I say this because on one of our roundtables that we have on our Facebook group, shameless plug, y'all might want to join that if you're in media ministries and stuff like that, to get associated with over 2,500 media ministries all over the world. But one of the questions was brought up. We have a lot of skills that are obviously benefit our ministry, but they are relevant skills that are in high demand because every business needs some type of videographer, streaming, all this other stuff like that. So I had a lot of people ask, AJ, how do you price what you're doing for anybody, for your services? Because unfortunately, we have a lot of people who don't understand what we do, and people have gotten taken for granted with that. I've done that before. I've priced stuff too low and then realized after the fact I had a facepalm type moment to where we're like, oh wow, I got ripped off. Like say, oh, I can record and make a DVD for you and I will only charge you $50 for it. But then the people who you made the DVD for go off and make $5,000 from selling your product that you put in hours to do and only brought $50 out of it. So, for the people who get sensitive, they don't want to, they don't like talking about money, this video is probably not for you. All right. So this is just me sharing from background what I do. All right. So for first thing, I want you to recognize no matter what you're doing, and I still am learning this myself, is do not undervalue your time. Time is the one commodity that you cannot get back. And you ever want to see AJ get mad? Waste my time. That's just me. So you need to realize you need to price out your time accordingly. So, and I'm being real transparent with this. For me right now, my rate, if I'm installing or doing anything, is around $150 an hour. And that's probably getting ready to bump up just based off of how things are going with me right now. But I quote that out because when I look at my time, how much I would make if I was saying making a video, going, having a consultation with somebody, sitting down, that right now is about it's about the range what equates to if I had to put that time into something. All right. So in another tip I would tell you, especially if you're trying to do this, don't go into this thinking with an employee mindset. I don't go into, even though I just said that, I do not quote any of the stuff that I do like I get paid hourly. I get paid by projects. I set my time as a project, not as how much I make per hour. All right. Now, understand that even though I'm quoting a project, say, oh, somebody wants me to do a live streaming event. That entire event, that project has a price, but inside of that, it has been broken down into how much my time is going to take me to do that. All right. Don't underestimate your time. How much time does it take for you to drive back and forth? How much time does it take for you to set up the equipment? How much time does it take for you to break down the equipment? How much time does it take for you to actually run whatever or do exactly what you're doing? How much does it take to produce it if it needs to? How much time does it take to render? You need to put all of that into your time estimate. So for me, that's coming out to $150, close to $250, depending on the project that I'm working on. So again, be mindful. Don't undersell yourself, but then don't oversell yourself. Because there are plenty of other people that are talking about, to do an install similar to like what I do, that's 4 hours, and they're charging $500 to $1,000. Hey, I think that's exorbitant, but again, I don't know their business. Another thing, don't try and compete with anybody else. You're just competing with yourself. All right. I guess number 2 thing that I would think about is, based off of what I just said, is you don't want to price yourself out of your competition. Now, again, I don't like competition, but I'm just using the equivalent words so people can understand what I'm talking about. Other people who do the same thing that you do. I don't like competing with other people. That's just me. If I offer a service that somebody else doesn't, or at a higher quality, I let the quality speak for itself. But if people in your area say you have a videographer that is charging $2,700 for a 3-hour wedding or something like that, and you come in saying it's $500, first off, you're sullying the environment. And then that having a price too low is setting the expectations for anybody else going in the future. So you need to be mindful of that. But at the same time, if everybody in the area is charging maybe $2,700 and you come in saying you're charging $27,000, I hope your product, that whatever you're producing, justifies that price. All right. So, you can't go overboard, but at the same time, don't go under, because it's going to mess you up and everybody else up in the future. Because you got to think, you charge somebody $500 and you throw everything in, not valuing your time, not charging it appropriately, and then now people are like, man, you need to contact this company, man. They did this for only $500, and then now when the floodgates open and you have a whole lot of business, can you sustain doing that level of work at $500, which now is gonna really drain your time? Are you going to be able to maintain that? Is that $500 going to be able to sustain you and run your business or whatever that you're doing, your project? And do you have enough time? Because if you have 20 weddings that you have to do that you are only doing at $500, is that going to produce enough for you to cover all of your supplies, all your material, all your time? And if this isn't a full-time thing, do you have enough time to do that while you're still working? So be mindful of the price that you set compared to everybody else that's in a similar industry as you. All right, the other thing that you want to add into a price, because again, we're talking about the project. The project is what we're setting the price for. That's what this is all about. And we just did our time, which is a part of the project. Then we also have a comparison of relative price to everybody else that's around you. Now, the other thing you need to also add into your price, for me, is if you're using a lot of equipment, cameras, computers, all this other stuff, is I highly recommend that you get some type of insurance to cover that equipment, so that if anything happens to the price that is being paid for your service, can at least cover the monthly that you have to pay for the monthly payment for whatever insurance that you have that will cover. And I think the last thing for me is, again, we've talked about your personal time. We've talked about comparison of everybody else in the industry. We talked about insurance and covering that for damages to whatever your type of equipment. And I'm going to add another type of insurance as well, too. You want to add some liability insurance. And again, my insurance was kind of tied to that. Liability insurance is just in case somebody doesn't like the stuff that you do, that you're covered. So that's another type of insurance you might want to add onto that. And again, that's still in relative pricing is not as expensive as you would have thought. Well, actually, as much as I thought, because I held off for a long time getting that type of stuff. But, that's what I would think. All right. Now, I think if I said the last, I was wrong. And then the next thing is you want to actually list out your materials and what you're doing. Now, me personally, I don't upcharge for the stuff that I do. I guess, let me take that back. I guess technically you would call it a upcharge. I normally round up to the next dollar. So if something was saying it's $159.99, I'll say it's $160 or something like that, just to make the numbers easier for me. Make sure you list, because a lot of times, at least the people that I deal with, the clients I've dealt with, they want an itemized list of everything. And I like to be in full transparency. What I'm doing, just like when I do the design stuff here on my on YouTube, when I do those type of videos, I have a list of every single thing that I'm going to use in the project. And if something changes, I make an adjustment. So I would say, itemize your list so that everybody knows exactly, there is no confusion on what you're actually providing or what the fee is going to cover. That's if you're doing an install or whatever. I mean, even if you're doing videography work or something like that, list the type of equipment that you're using. So like, say you don't have all the cameras and you need to rent them, list them on there and then have a price so people can correlate, at least for me. For you to come out and say, oh, I'm paying $2,700 and it just says videography. Some people are okay with that, but I mean, it's just a subconscious type of comfort when you see, oh, there's a lot of things listed under this price. It kind of just feels like, okay, I'm justifying the price that I'm getting ready to pay for this service. That's just me. You don't have to do that, but that has helped me greatly. Just so people can see. And then when they get it, they have a checklist for themselves to show like, hey, you actually did what you said. So I think that's about it. Let me know if you have any other questions. That's how I do my stuff. And again, there's other ways that you can also include that. So like if, like in the price, when I'm talking about the prices of stuff that you're talking about, insurance and stuff like that, if your service is based on, say you're a Zoom consultant and you're running a Zoom meeting and you have the full suite of Zoom so you can run webinars and stuff like that, that's a monthly fee. That is a part of the tools that you use for your equipment. Include that monthly payment that you have to make for that service in there. Or if you're paying yearly, take it, divide it by 12 for each month and then put it in there. You want to account for all of the things that you use to produce said product or do this service or whatever it takes to complete this project. All right. So like for me, now that I have contractors and things like that, I include a portion of that to help cover the maintenance and running of my business. So anyway, I think I've tried to close out this about like 4 times and then I had other thoughts because contrary to popular belief, I don't have a script. I kind of just go off the top of my head and then I edit out a lot of the stuff that I feel might have been messed up. But anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, please leave them down below. I do read all the comments. I'm starting to not respond to all the comments just because, some people want 15 seconds of fame. So those comments I ignore, and most of the time I delete or block them. But if you have any questions, leave them down below. Or if you don't want to leave them in the comments, you can always email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond, and we'll do the best that we possibly can to help you out. So if you like this type of content, I appreciate it. Consider subscribing and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry, as well as expand your sphere of influence with the skills that you have learned in the media ministry. Hey, because other people can use the skills that you got. Anyway, I want to thank the patrons and the YouTube members for making this video possible. Their names on the screen right now, and you too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. Or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. We will see you on the next video. Later.